I've owned a Thermomix for a month, and these are the top 11 things I've learned since owning a machine. And the first will really surprise you, as it doesn't involve cooking at all. Starting with number 1, the machine cleans itself, and I was really skeptical about this when I had my demo, but I genuinely use the cleaning cycle after pretty much every recipe I make in the Thermomix, and sometimes multiple times within making one meal. You can select the relevant mode based on what you've been cooking in the machine, and usually you only need to do a quick rinse out under the tap before you can get cooking again. This is such a time saver and a real favourite feature of mine, as whilst you're doing other food prep or eating the meal you've made, the machine is already cleaning itself. If you've been following my social channels, you'll know that I've been mid-kitchen renovation for about 6 months. And when I got my Thermomix, it was an absolute godsend because you really don't need that many appliances to be able to cook great meals. All you really need is a hob and an oven, and you're ready to go. I cooked for several months out of our parents' houses. I had my food in bags for life, like this, tucked under the island, but it wasn't a problem because most of the work was done by this machine. So despite not having a kitchen, I was able to really easily make foods from scratch that I never thought I'd be able to attempt, like mayonnaise, sweet chili sauce, and even homemade chocolate spread. Reason 3 is a great one. I absolutely love that the Thermomix does all of the chopping for you, as I hate dicing onions. Now I just put quartered onions in the machine. I can put in big chunks of carrot, use ingredients like celery, and it will chop it all to a fine mix, which is a great base for sauces like bolognese or a cottage pie that I'm slow cooking today. As the Thermomix has a 500-watt motor, it's able to chop onions and many other ingredients to perfection. The consistency of the results are perfect every time due to its sensors for cutting different ingredients. I love that the Thermomix does all the stirring for you. Our kids absolutely love having porridge in the morning, and it's so easy. Simply pour in the oats, add your milk, and the Thermomix will create the creamiest, easiest porridge whilst you get everything else ready. Another amazing moment was when we made white sauce for the first time. I used to dread fussing over a perfect roux, but now it could not be easier. You just put everything in the machine, and in a matter of minutes, you've got the perfect white sauce. I also used to avoid making risottos for the same reason, but the Thermomix does all the stirring for you, and you can create these meals using just this appliance. So all you really need is a plug and you can get going. And lastly, the texture of the sauces we created in the machine are unbelievable. The tuna pasta bake, for example, is a real crowd pleaser. The Thermomix is really good at all-in-one cooking. You can chop your base, brown the meat, and slow cook all in the one machine without any need for any extra washing up. It's also really good at toasting nuts and spices, and a great example of this in action is this homemade tikka paste, which is absolutely delicious and was so easy to make. The real game changer was how the spices were toasted at the beginning of the recipe, and this makes the most amazing curries. The Thermomix has a really powerful motor, which means it can mill things into a fine powder. So for example, you could mill lentils to use as a thickener for sauces. You could mill nuts, either to make homemade nut butter, or even just to use in cooking if you've got small children who struggle with big pieces of nuts. And another game changer is how it chops ingredients like chocolate, either into chips for baking or into a fine powder which you can use to make hot chocolates. I love that the Thermomix can grate cheese, and Parmesan is a fantastic example. In the shops, if you look at the prices, you're nearly paying 30% extra to buy your Parmesan grated. But now I don't need to pay a premium when it's so easy to do at home. I can now save myself both time and money using the Thermomix, and grating the cheese couldn't be easier. And this is perfect for using in sauces or topping pasta dishes. The Thermomix also enables you to save money on store-cupboard ingredients like icing sugar, which is the one thing I always seem to run out of when I need to do some baking. Now all you need to do is buy granulated sugar, keep this in the cupboard, and you can use the Thermomix to mill it into icing sugar in a matter of seconds. Not only is this really handy when you run out of ingredients, it will also give you a significant cost saving. The Thermomix is great at making bread, and I bet you didn't expect it to make bread this easily. We get through a lot of bread in our house, and this was an ultra-processed item I really wanted to get off our shopping list. The Portuguese bread tastes fantastic, and the milk bread is another favourite spot that we have made, and we make it at least once a week now, as it makes the best toast. Using the Thermomix to mix and knead the dough, we get consistently good results every time and with so little effort. And with guided cooking from Cookie Dough, I was able to create a really impressive looking bread in very little time at all. The Thermomix can also be used as a rice cooker, and I have to admit I am terrible at cooking rice from scratch, and I used to rely heavily on microwave packets that made it a lot easier, which are a lot more expensive and sometimes have extra ingredients added in. The Thermomix takes all the hassle out of this. And last but not least, the Thermomix can be used as a slow cooker, so I'm still able to make my favourite recipes, but this time instead of needing lots of equipment, I can chop, brown and cook all in one machine, which saves me a lot of time and washing up. When I bought my Thermomix, I decided to join as an advisor, and I regularly share recipes and inspiration on my YouTube and social channels. If you'd like to learn more about the Thermomix, please reach out and follow along as I try out more recipes in my machine.